This is The Final Percent.
The Final
The
Percent.
Final Percent. And we've made it all the way to Friday. All the way to Friday. We are in the Final Percent podcast. So what can I help you with today? And I think I found it, because if you're looking at today's day and age, there are a lot of people who are, and I think we're teaching our youth to do this. So people are coming up, and it's ingrained in culture. It's ingrained in what we do, who we are, what we expect. And going back to that talk that we had on what are we currently doing in the whole social landscape side of things, what are we currently doing in Instagram? And that's, we're getting addicted to perfection or pity. So it's, look at my perfect friends, look at my perfect life, my perfect food, my perfect car, my perfect house. I am so perfect, I'm amazing. Or you've got the other side of it. I don't have this, I don't have that, and I don't, you got to feel sorry for me, and here's this, that, and the other. And the problem is no one lives at those extremes, but it's what we're taught. We're taught that we either have to be given things or we have to be perfect. And the fact is it's just not true. And so this weekend, when you're going into the weekend, I want you to start thinking in a different way. I want you to think of action as perfection. So stop waiting for it to be perfect and just take action on your dream. Take action on who you are. I came out with a book. My birthday's coming up. I came out with a book called The Homeless Millionaire. And I've since killed that brand because, first impressions, yes, they're very important. And The Homeless Millionaire sounds very much like a rags to riches story, and it sounds like this, that, and the other, whatever. And if you would have told me to wait until it was perfect, now just to clarify, if you haven't read the book or don't know the story, the whole idea behind it was when you are a homeless person and you're in dire straits, you have to have that $1 million goal to stretch you, to give you something to strive for, to try to have something that's just out of reach, and you're really, really trying to become something that can do something that will have $1 million. Now, when you have $1 million, going back to the mindset of when you were homeless and staying frugal, staying hungry, staying on top of what you want to do to take action so that you can keep moving forward and you don't squander it away because your whole lifestyle changes. So imagine, to my surprise, because first impressions do really matter, I thought that the idea for the book was absolutely great, but I put it out there in the world and it did not get very well received. In fact, I got death threats and I got people saying this, that, and the other, and blah, blah. I mean, it was a pretty hard experience for me, to be honest with you. But I would have never found out if I would have just said, I've got to wait till it's perfect. Now, if you read the book, there are spelling errors, there's punctuation errors, but at least I still came out with a book. I took action, and the next one's going to be better, and the one after that's going to be better. The title may keep changing, the content may keep evolving and changing, but that's what we're on this earth to do, is to become more and do better the next time around. So I want you to take action. How many business ideas are in your head right now that you are scared to tell anybody? You're scared to tell your significant other. You're scared to tell your friends and your family. But also, how many times have you said, you know what, I'm going to wait until this is perfect. I don't want to tell anyone until it's perfect. And then when you came out with it and you told your friends and your family and your colleagues, they came up with all these other ideas and different perspectives and immediately changed the way that you saw your own idea and immediately made it better, and you wanted to go back to the drawing board. You can get to better faster if you take action. So instead of, if you have a book that you're trying to write, and let's say that you're not that good a writer, go into a recording studio or go to Guitar Center and buy a couple $100 worth of recording equipment and just talk your book. Get it out on a podcast form. Get it out on Audible. Self-publish. Take action. Get heard. Be seen. And that's the thing. A lot of people will chastise me, say, "Oh, well, that idea didn't work, Greg." Yeah, but at least I took action. I mean, if you go back to the very first podcast that I ever came out with, I'm sure that it's not the most awesome thing. You got to start somewhere. But are you willing to finish? A thing that I've been talking to a lot of people recently is, okay, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. I don't agree with that. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to finish to be great. You got to get finishing in your DNA, in who you are, execution, bring it across the finish line. Because think about it. Going back to, we learned this story at a very, very, very young age, tortoise and the hare. Who's faster? The hare. I almost said tortoise. That's who wins. Why? Slow and steady wins the race. There's a good book by Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great. That's an amazing book. I really recommend it. But there's a good book out there called Great by Choice. And he talks about if you're going to do a march across the United States at roughly 3,000 miles, how do you get it accomplished? And it's 20 miles a day. On a really clear blue sky, just amazing, 20 miles. In the cold, in the rain, in the sleet, in the hail. 20 miles. You set your goal, very measurable, specific goal, and then you put in your 20 miles. And you keep moving forward, and you keep moving forward, and you keep moving forward. You got to take the action, but on that clear blue sky, don't go 100 miles, burn yourself out. Do what you know you can do every single day. Not just when you feel good. I mean every single day when you feel bad, when you feel good, when you feel kind of good, when you feel kind of bad, when you feel in love, when you're happy, when you're sad. What can you do every single day to just go toward your goal? Take action toward your goal. Measurable, deliberate, committed, consistent action toward your goal. Don't wait for it to be perfect. If we wait for it to be perfect, we are going to leave it a dream or a wish our entire life. Goals without a plan have been called a wish by many smart people. Goals without a plan is actually a wish. Dreams without a plan is actually a wish. So what's your plan? No matter what, if you want to be great at guitar, got to practice, got to put in that action, got to put in the time, got to pay your dues. You hear this whole thing about paying your dues. Paying your dues is just action. Are you taking committed, consistent action toward who you are? Are you taking committed, consistent action toward who you want to be, who you can be, who you should be? That fire inside of you, that why inside of you. Why do you exist? What is your purpose? Come on. Take action on who you know you should be. Everyone's waiting for perfection on everything that is great in life. Perfection is not real. You will never get there. It doesn't exist. How many times do you hear about Google releasing a phone that is almost unusable, or Apple releasing a phone that is almost unusable only to be fixed later by a software update? They're doing it all the time because they need to try it. They need to take action and get it into the market, get it talked about. But the other thing is when you have 100 million people or 10 million people or however many people use your product, how fast does your product get vetted then? They took action, they found the problems, they solved them. So if you have someone that you want to become, something that you want to do, take action. And as you take action, you will find out how to become that person, how to do that thing. You have to take action. So what I'm asking you to do is find something this weekend. Find something this weekend that you can take action on to make you better, to bring you closer to your goals, closer to your dreams. I want you to take action on it. Don't just sit on the couch. Don't just go out to the club. Don't Find a way to take action. And remember, you are your walking billboard. You are building your personal brand. So whether you're going to go on the golf course, you're taking your family to the zoo, you're going out to dinner, take action on who you can be. Be that person. Take action. This has been The Final Percent. The Final Percent podcast. Have a great weekend, guys. Do something that your future self will thank you for. This weekend, do something that your future self will thank you for.